Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jamesville-DeWitt High School here in DeWitt, New York, where we're bringing you the quarterfinal matchup of this year's Sectional Class C 2022 Girls Lacrosse Sectional Championships. Hi, everybody. Nick Dekaney here, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Mikey Meskos, and what a privilege it is and what looks to be the final broadcast of this year.
Absolutely, Nick. Today we got a great matchup here. And for JD, this is all about setting the tone for the beginning of their sectional run, a run that they hope to last well into regionals and states. It is all about today. They're turning over a new chapter in this storybook season, and it all starts right now.
Yeah, Jamesville-DeWitt, the five-time defending sectional champions, have not lost a sectional game since 2016. About 6 years ago was the last time they lost a sectional game. Just a remarkable feat of consistency and success amongst this program. So looking to continue that. They are the 1 seed, have home field advantage tonight going against the 8 seed New Hartford Spartans, and they're looking to take care of business here tonight.
Of course, everything's on their side right now. They got that home field advantage, like you said. They're the higher seed right now. And today is all about just getting into that playoff rhythm for them. They want to start their season off in the sectional championship as good as possible, and they're at the perfect spot to do it right now. Let's see how it goes.
And only one way to find out who will advance. The winner of this one will take on whoever wins Indian River versus Chittenango. That game going on right now. And we'll give you some score updates. We just had our boys baseball team take down Oswego in their quarterfinal sectional matchup, so they will advance. And our boys lacrosse team playing right now as we speak against the Christian Brothers Academy of Syracuse. And that is definitely going to be a brawl. But we're here tonight covering the girls' game, and there's nowhere else I would rather be. We've covered a lot of these games throughout the season, almost every single home game, and arguably one of the best teams this year at JD.
Absolutely. I wish we could have followed them even further into this playoff run. But for JDTV, it all ends here tonight. And I think JD is going to really be able to pull out a great game tonight and a perfect send-off for this season on JDTV.
So Maris Kessler will take the draw for the Red Rams. As they usually switch this up, depending on the game, they like to play the strengths of their girl on the draw. And already a whistle blows, and that one will go to the Red Rams. When they're able to get control of that draw and a consistent draw at that, they are such a dangerous team. Their transition offense is so electric, and they move so well together as a unit. You can tell they trust each other in each and every play, and that's what makes them such a dangerous unit. As you can see just why, as Maris Kessler cracks the door open for the Red Rams, putting them up 1 and not even a minute of play.
Maris Kessler coming in at the perfect time. You were just saying how good this team is at pushing the pace, getting out there right away, and they do exactly that. Maris Kessler able to just swoop in right in that perfect point of most opportunity, right where you want to be, and she's able to put JD on the score sheet. After just 25 seconds, a perfect start.
What do you call that? Is that the Pomo?
That's Pomo right there.
There you go. Already. So Kessler gets her 34th goal of the season. Just a freshman. Has done such an amazing job this season at contributing to this team, coming in day one and instantly having an impact. 34 goals, 16 assists. The future of JD Lacrosse is in very good hands.
That's an understatement with Maris Kessler. She is going to be one of the best players this program has seen in a very long time. Just a freshman and already scoring goals like that, man, this is going to be dangerous in a couple years.
Reminiscent of her sister who graduated last year, Everly Kessler, who was certainly a contributing factor to that team last year, but now we see the Spartans on their first offensive trip. The Spartans' main trio consists of Sophia Campola, Alana McCarthy, Bella Kolb. That three-headed monster really is going to look to carry them to a victory here tonight. But it will not be easy. This JD defense is stifling hot, and they do such a good job at clamping up what always seems to be their opposing team's best attacker.
New Hartford, definitely a lot of potential on this offensive end, but it seems like they're playing really slow, really sluggish right now. Kind of playing flat-footed, just kind of passing around that 12-meter arc, trying to get something going, but it seems like JD is really not letting them do much with it, not really allowing themselves to be super creative to start off here.
Yeah, just trying to find their footing, and it's tough, especially playing as the 8 seed, going against the 1 seed in that first round, and something they've got to capitalize on every opportunity tonight because they will not come easy.
I think a big trend in this game is definitely going to be the pacing from end to end. We're seeing right now with New Hartford kind of playing really slow right now. And part of that is due to JD just shutting them down, really, as we're seeing right now with Lauren Parker and Riley Markert. But on the other side, we're definitely going to see a much faster pace, especially in transition, as we are seeing right now. Maris Kessler coming right up the gut of the field, and JD is looking to push it.
So McCarthy gets it swiped, and we're right back on offense for the Red Rams. And that's Durkin, the facilitator, comfortable in that spot behind the cage.
And even in the first couple minutes, it's night and day when you're looking at the offenses of these two teams. New Hartford playing super slow, JD playing the exact opposite, always pushing it. Unfortunately, results in a little bit of a mistake there. New Hartford tries to get the clear.
And a nice defensive effort there by Sydney Ballatin, but that will be a checking foul, and it'll stay with the Spartans. So I've just gotten word that Sophia Campola is out, the junior midfielder with 24 goals on the season, their third leading goal scorer. So that's a big loss for this squad as they get into the most important game of the season. Going to be tough for them to try and manage that and find a new offense.
Definitely bad timing there to have an injury there. Campola, one of the biggest scoring contributors on this team, and definitely we're about to see the hole that she's leaving in this New Hartford offense. We've already seen them playing at a really slow pace, and that's probably due to just the less options that they have on that side of the ball right now.
But for the Spartans, got to have that next man up mentality. Has tried to force it into Bella Kolb there, but that one goes by, and the Spartans are able to retain. Now it's Riley Love.
Like you said, that next man up mentality, so important. Something that JD does well in every sport, especially with this girls lacrosse team. After last year, they had a very prominent, very strong senior class that left in 2021, but they were able to fill right back in with talent. On this field right now, they've got a couple freshmen, they've got a couple sophomores, and a lot of new varsity players, even some call-ups that just happened a couple days ago. This team has no shortage of talent, and they're always refueling this program, which is why they've been in this driver's seat position for so many seasons in Section 3 Class C.
Yeah, JD, nothing short but a storied program of dominance here in Class C. We mentioned it before, have not lost a sectional game since 2016, and you see just why there as Cindy Ballatin's off to the races.
And there's been no shortage of sectional winning teams in JD history, but I think this team wants to do something just a little bit further. And as we see Macy Durkin just coming right across, JD pushing the pace once again, getting that perfect bounce shot right past Emily Piccola. Took the words right out of my mouth. This is an electric start from JD.
Yeah, Durkin just so nonchalant with that one. Just strolling out to the left side, going to bounce it right past you, and JD's out to a quick 2-0 lead.
And like I was saying before, Durkin interrupted me with that goal. Not going to blame her for it, obviously, but like I was saying, this JD team has what it takes to go above and beyond JD teams in the past. One thing about JD girls lacrosse is that they've never been able to win that fabled state championship. They've gotten close a couple times, even in the past couple years, making it to the final a few times, but just can't get it right over the edge.
Well, it'll be a long road ahead for these girls, but it all starts here tonight in the quarterfinals. But certainly, I couldn't agree more. This team has the talent to take it very far into this postseason. We just got word that right now the boys lacrosse team down 2-1 against the CBA brothers. So hanging in there early in that one. That one kicked off at 6:30. So most likely we'll be able to get the final score of that one before this game is over.
Absolutely. Sending our good luck wishes over to the boys in Central Square right now. And the JD girls lax team hoping to get to where they are right now. Trying to get that semifinal spot booked tonight.
Oh, and a big collision there as Brooke Bort and Ella Greco just went full speed. Heads down, but Greco's right back up and pushing the pace.
And Brooke Bort, we've seen this a couple times in our broadcasts. She is no stranger to catching a body sometimes. She's a very physical player. I feel like we're always saying her name in these big collisions. Always able to just get down and just play that physical brand of lacrosse that you don't see a lot of the time.
Yeah, got to have a couple of those people on every single team. Someone who's willing to just sacrifice their entire body, put it on the line if it means getting that ball or making that extra play. But now the Spartans, as you mentioned, a little bit slow on this offensive pace, trying to find some kind of window within this JD defense.
Yeah, New Hartford just passing it around right now. kind of playing flat-footed. Obviously, JD is very, very close to them at all times, just completely smothering on defense. But New Hartford really struggling to just even get something in that center area in front of the JD goalie. They're really restricted to that outer arc right now.
And that was Riley Markert that originally created the turnover, but now things in the hands of Leah Hilton. The senior midi looks to take it herself, but that one's picked off by Lauren Parker. And a quick pass in succession to Kate Barclay. And again, this JD offense finds themselves in transition where they're so comfortable.
Defense turned into offense right here. I have a feeling we'll see a lot of these transition finishes right here. JD loves to play fast, and they know that New Hartford cannot handle that.
Durkin tried to get things into Hildreth there. Connection wasn't quite on point. Hildreth had 6 goals in their league conference championship. But here comes Sydney Ballatin down the lane. Sydney Ballatin right up Main Street and puts the Rams up 3.
And Sydney Ballatin with the finish there. But what really went under the radar there was the amazing screen from Brooke Bort. She's able to just get herself right in front of that New Hartford defender. Sydney Ballatin is able to completely seal her off and has an open lane. Shout out to Brooke Bort making that screen assist.
And what a great notice by you as the color guy. You know, it's the little things like that on a team that don't always get the light of day and the attention that the goals do. But Brooke Bort and Sydney Ballatin, beautiful back and forth action there. That's Ballatin's 21st goal on the year to add to 1 assist. And actually, she's not even the team leader in that category. That belongs to Caroline Stone, who has 37, which actually is more than the entire New Hartford team by herself.
Not a great sight to see if you're New Hartford, but shout out to Caroline Stone there. And as well as all of these JD facilitators, Macy Durkin, Kate Barclay, and Sydney Ballatin, like you just said. This team has so many offensive weapons, but the greatest thing about them is that they're so willing to pass. They're never going to try and play hero ball, and they're all so unselfish with each other. And that just comes with spending a lot of time with your team and really becoming a family. You want to share that as much as you can.
Yeah, and the Spartans actually only have a fourth of their goals that are assisted on this season, so a very low amount. Normally, you're going to see right around half, maybe a little bit more. So that goes kind of to their style of play. A lot of isolation lacrosse, and in this game, they're going to have to create some constant ball movement if they want to give JD a different look.
And that isolation type of play is part of the reason why they're only 8-8. It makes sense against the inferior opponents that you can kind of just have one person going on and scoring most of your goals. But against good teams like JD, you need a well-rounded effort. And that's not what we're seeing so far from New Hartford.
And some stingy defense, as always, from Teresa Grosso, but will result in the 8-meter shot. That's Alana McCarthy, the Spartans' leading goal scorer with 42 on the year, looking to get something on the board for the Spartans.
Big opportunity here from New Hartford. Just want to get their foot in the door on this opportunity.
McCarthy drives inside, but Kime bouncing it off the foot. We've got another foul, however, and that will stay with the Spartans. But a nice defensive effort there by the Red Rams. That's Parker crashing in, and Hildreth, that 1-2 punch, makes it so difficult to get a clean shot off.
McCarthy just absolutely smothered on that opportunity. And to add insult to injury, Lucy Kibe just scooping that up so easily. She has grown so much in this role as the starting goalie.
And McCarthy tried to punch it in, falling over. She nearly did, but that one rolled out of bounds, and they'll get another opportunity. But you're absolutely right. This girls' team, and especially Lucy Kibe, has really grown into that role. Being a freshman, dealing with those, those learning curves, that a little bit of inexperience that comes with just being so young. But she's done an excellent job. 47% goal save percentage this season, and she's only going to get better as the years go by.
It's definitely been a bumpy road for Lucy Kibe. She started off really strong, and then kind of in that middle portion of the season, started to drop down a little bit in terms of her save percentage. But now, more than ever, she is starting to progress back up to where she has been for that beginning part of that season. And it's in the perfect time. They need her to be firing on all cylinders, and that is exactly what she has been bringing every single game in these past couple weeks for JD.
Yeah, and this Red Ram squad lost an academic All-American who played goalie last year. That was Skylar Constantino, now I believe at the University of Indiana. But again, similar to the boys team, And wow, look at that defense there from the Red Rams. Just collective, getting bodies on the ball and forcing them to make the wrong pass.
Again, JD just smothering New Hartford. When it looks like New Hartford is just going to get a foot in the door, JD slams it right back in their face with multiple people.
And Caroline Stone wraps that one around Emily Piccola, and she gets on the board as well.
And we were just saying, the great defense by JD turning into even better offense for JD. Pushing it in transition once again. I feel like we've been saying that the whole time. It's only been 10 minutes, and they've already had all of their goals almost come off of these transition opportunities. So lethal. This team has got wheels, and if a defense is unable to adapt to that and be comfortable with a team that plays so fast, it is going to be a long night for whoever that may be. And tonight's New Hartford.
And for New Hartford, as I believe they call their first timeout of this game, they're going to need to be able to keep up with those transition swings in the game. When they get on, if they create a turnover on offense and they find themselves falling back on defense, they've got to hustle back and fight and be able to step up to this level of play and at least force a bad shot for the Red Rams. As you see here, just a comparison of these two teams this season. Red Rams 13-3, the Spartans 8-8. They play in the Tri-Valley League. The Red Rams were in the SCAC Empire Conference. And, a couple of huge categories you could see here. The rating. That's number one. Consider this as almost like a Madden or a 2K rating as the team's strength. JD about an 85, 84.7, but the Spartans a 69.3. So about a 15-point swing there in that category. You look at strength of schedule, that one's not as much, about a 7-point swing. And a lot of that is due to the Red Rams playing up a lot of Class B teams on their schedule, Auburn, FM, West Jenny. So they're comfortable playing those higher strength opponents. But the other big one, goal differential. The Red Rams +5 and the Spartans -2.75, a 7-goal swing in that category. And that's really what's been hurting them this season.
Absolutely. JD, obviously the statistical favorite here, as you would likely see with the 1 seed. And New Hartford, not the greatest stats they have here. And this game that we're seeing right now is really not an anomaly to either of these team statistics. As we're seeing, it's already 4-0 with 10 minutes have gone by. Definitely not something surprising that we're seeing, and a great performance from JD living up to their statistics right here.
Yeah, and the Spartans actually went 10-4 last season, found themselves in the sectional semifinals, but unfortunately fell 16-4 to Fulton, who eventually was lost to Jamesville-DeWitt in the sectional finals. But this team has not a bad history of success. Went 6-11 in 2019, 7-10 in 2018 under Coach Mike Tassack. So just trying to find their footing again. Not a relatively young team, a lot of seniors and juniors, but an opportunity for these younger players to get some of that postseason experience, see what it's like of a team of this caliber, and get an idea of what it is they have to bring to the table for these next couple of years. Exactly.
Even if this game doesn't go their way, like you said, the experience points are so crucial right now. Just being able to learn from this postseason experience is so crucial to all of these girls on the field right now, especially these juniors and these underclassmen. Just seeing what it's like to be in that playoff atmosphere does wonders for the girls that are returning next year.
And we just got word that the Indian River girls team won 18-11 over Chittenango, so the winner of this game will face them in the semifinal round. That will come on Tuesday, and that will be at a neutral site, most likely in Central Square. But now Hildreth's off to the races and finds Durkin on the left side. So they'll get situated back on offense and try and run something up.
And JD playing surprisingly fast for a team that has a 4-goal advantage. They want to get as many points on this scoreboard as possible, as quick as possible.
But a nice defensive succession there by Emily Piccola. Fends off Hildreth and then Endries back to back. And the Spartans now trying to find a little bit of momentum out of that timeout. But that one is just staying on the ground, and neither team can pick it up. But that's Kylie Thomas. Was able to recover that one, but she is shadowed by Hildreth. A battle of the 13s.
And a great thing about the battle of the 13s is one of them is going to end up unlucky. Looks like JD is pulling out right now. Lindsay Hildreth one of their best players here, and just such a great defender too. Doesn't get spoken about a lot because she's so lethal on offense, but every single player on this team, and especially Hildreth, is so good going in both directions.
Yeah, Hildreth gets it done on both sides of the ball, night in and night out. But right now, the Spartans on the move. That's C. Russo. Excuse me, that's Bella Kolb. Now hanging way outside that cage.
And we finally are seeing a little bit of faster play from the Spartans, especially with that clear coming up from Kolb. But it's just nipped in the bud there from JD, completely being shut down. When that attacker came in for New Hartford, she was met with 2 or 3 bodies there, just completely slowing down that freight train of attack that New Hartford tried to mount.
But you're right, this New Hartford offense, a lot of them almost walking around the goal, trying to set something up. Very different from what you normally see in a team. A lot of weaves and cuts, moving fast inside. But now the pace seems to be picking up.
It could be a strategy there from New Hartford, maybe trying to slip through those cracks when JD least expects it. But it looks like JD has expected everything the New Hartford is doing right now.
Yeah,
the scouting report is perfect.
Lucy Kibe just read Bella Kolb like a book. And again, in familiar territory, it's Caroline Stone on the fast break. But she'll check that one out and try and reset.
And it looks like New Hartford is also having a really hard time tracking back right now. We just saw Caroline Stone make a run from the 50 to almost the 25, completely unmarked, just weaving through.
And there's Lindsay Hildreth, the leading goal scorer this year for the Red Rams. Wide open in front of the net. That's somebody you just can't lose on defense.
Honestly, I'm a little shocked it took her so long to get on the score sheet. It's been almost 12 minutes there, but hey, she always knows how to find a way to the goal. She is the most lethal scorer on this team, and coming in at the perfect time, just extending this lead to 1 more.
I guess that's how you know she's lethal, when you're a little surprised that it took her 12 minutes to finally get a goal, as the Red Rams now up 5-0, comfortably in the driver's seat as we approach the halfway point in this first half. That's Hildreth's 45th goal on the season. Off that beautiful assist from Maris Kessler, that duo has been very lethal all season long. And it seems like we can see just about any night a combination of 2 of these girls just going off for a couple of goals on the pitch and catch.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what some of the statistics are, what some of the most frequent pairings between 2 of these Red Rams attackers would be. They're always able to combine so quickly.
As Lindsay Hildreth, lightning does strike twice. And if you blinked, you missed that one. She came right back down the field and just cut right behind her defender. Didn't even see it coming, as she gets her second on the day.
Lindsay Hildreth, I was saying, she might have taken a little too long to get that first one in, but after 15 seconds, she's already got 2, getting that multi-goal game already. Off the feed from Macy Durkin, nonetheless, another one of those combinations that we keep seeing for this JD offense. They are always able to combine in so many different ways.
Yeah, Hildreth, I believe 5 or more goals in the last 3 or 4 games in a row. So she's been on an absolute tear as of late, and it's been when they've played their best competition. So they're bringing their best ball against these best teams.
Exactly. The end of this Red Ram season was very difficult. They had a string of really tough games. They had that league championship game against Auburn, I believe. They had a game against Watertown a little bit before. They had that grind of a game against Liverpool that they ended up sticking out in double overtime. So this team is playing the toughest part of their schedule right at the end, which is a perfect way to get into that sectional tournament play.
Yeah, currently riding a 6-game win streak. You mentioned that last game beat Auburn 11-8 in the SCAC Conference Championship. That was last Tuesday. And now find themselves back at the home stadium a week later, lucky enough to host a sectional game. Has Maris Kessler just using her height there. That seems a little bit unfair.
Maris Kessler just able to swallow that one up, really. Had no effort there from New Hartford to even get up that high. Maris Kessler using every inch of her frame to get that one, and it's paying off. JD is on another attack. I feel like we keep saying this. It's been only a minute since Lindsay Hildreth scored her first goal. They're back up. She scored 2 in the last minute, and they are on the attack again. JD is keeping that foot firmly on the gas pedal.
Yeah, trying to just grow that lead in this first half. And, you know, they're so comfortable with the ball in their hands. They seem to be able to find their way out of any kind of offensive pinch and just do such a good job when they need to hold out or control that clock.
And that just speaks to the conditioning of this team.
And Sydney Ballatin, wow, just slicing and dicing and slides that one by Pecola.
Very nice there from Sydney Ballatin. Just sliding in, doing what she does best. She has such a quick first step. She's so elusive, able to just break down a defense like no other. Sydney Ballatin doing it once again.
And she does it
second on the day.
She does it so quickly as well. It seems it's just one step and you've lost her. She's in front of you and she's about to put that thing in the goal. So does it again and gets her second goal on the night. And now we see Hildreth going to go check onto the bench as Sadie Withers will come in.
Looks like Hildreth just getting a breather there. JD finding themselves in a very comfortable spot. No better time, really, to just rest your star players for a little bit. You don't need them out there right now. It's a great time for players like Sadie Withers to get some real run, some great opportunity there.
And just take a look at this height advantage that Kessler has on the draw. I mean, you can just see the different level of size on these teams. You can also see the Class C ranking within New York State. The Red Rams 16th and the Spartans a little bit behind them at 51st. So you mentioned that state potential run into the state tournament. Certainly not out of reach for these Red Rams, but as we said, a long way to go and a lot of games to play.
And before we were talking about those class rankings, we were talking about Maris Kessler just being such an imposing figure on those draws, and she does it once again. She's able to go top shelf on all of these, just reaching for the stars, really. She's able to get so high on that initial draw, and it's paying off. She has controlled almost every single one here today.
Yeah, it must be something like 5-1 in that draw category. And speak of the devil, we have it on screen. 7 draws already for the Red Rams and 1 for the Spartans. And now Endries trying to get a piece of the action. But she decides to back out of that one. And now Stone trying to wrap it around, and she does. Caroline Stone just waltzing her way into that goal.
Caroline Stone, again, just such a quick first step. Able to operate behind the cage there for a little bit. And I think, you know, right as she was about to slow down, maybe try and look for another opportunity, she noticed a little lull in the New Hartford defense and is able to just pick up that speed right away, able to capitalize on just a little downtime in that New Hartford defense.
And for Pecola, that's such a tough goal to try and defend. She's played it to that left side of the goal, which isn't a bad idea with somebody coming from that left side, but left too much space on that open right side, and boy, did Stone take advantage. So now the Red Rams up 8 with still 11 minutes left in the first half. But you're right, it all starts on the draw, really, for both of these teams, especially for New Hartford. If they aren't able to get it, it's going to be very tough for them to find themselves on offense.
And we've got Maris Kessler lining up in the spot that she feels most comfortable, back in that draw circle, doing what she does best. And she gets it again. This just is going to continue for the rest of the night here. Maris Kessler just being a catalyst to this offense. The offense that just allowed Brooke Bort to get that goal right there. Just so quickly after that draw, probably 10 seconds, Maris Kessler weaving through Brooke Bort, getting that feed like a hot knife through butter.
They do it so fast, so quickly, and at just such a high level as Brooke Bort, straight off the draw. I'm going to take this myself. How do you do? She's up on the board.
And at this point, Maris Kessler on these draws, she's reminded me of, you know, when you go to the department store and you got all the hangers lined up and you've got the person and they've got that just long stick and they got to get the hangers off.
Of course.
That's what Maris Kessler's doing right now. She's reaching all the way up to the top shelf with her stick. And whoever's doing the draws for New Hartford, it's been a couple different people so far, but no one's been able to get that success.
They cannot beat Kessler to the cookie jar, and she does it again there. But it is interesting, the Red Rams do switch up their draw position almost every game, it seems. As Brookport, I'm not even sure what to say at this point. They're scoring almost every 20 seconds.
Brookport taking a leaf out of Lindsay Hildreth's book. Lindsay Hildreth, we just saw her score 2 goals in 15 seconds. Brookport might have given her a run for her money there. That may have been closer to the 12 or 13 second mark between goals.
And almost hitting the Euro step, it looked like, on that one, as we now approach the running clock within this first half. Now 9:50 left. And we also got word that the boys lacrosse team down 5-1 against CBA at halftime. So they're looking to try and bounce back in that second half. But again, CBA, that 1 seed, such a tough task. And it'll take probably the best performance that these boys will have all season long if they want to come out of there with a victory.
Of course, no easy task. Probably the best team they've faced all year, probably, at least in Class C. Such a distinct matchup there between CBA, such a storied rivalry. It'd be nice if the girls team could maybe donate a couple goals to the boys team over there in Central Square, but not for today at least.
I'm certainly sure they would not mind a couple of those. But, I mean, are we surprised the Red Rams right back on offense and just going to start chewing that clock now?
Yeah, I'm interested to see with how much urgency JD is going to continue to play with.
Well, certainly seems urgent there as Hildreth and Bort do it again. And Brooke Bort gets a hat trick in, what, a minute and a half?
Seems like it. Brooke Bort wasting no time. I think maybe she saw a couple of her teammates getting on the score. She said, let me get a piece of that. And she took more than just a piece.
Yeah, she took the whole cake on that one. The Red Rams now up 11-0. Just utter complete dominance in this first half.
And I was saying before this game that this match specifically is all about setting the tone for the rest of their sectional, regional, and state Final Four run. And this is the perfect way you want to start it. Obviously, you're not going to get these opportunities to be blowing teams out by 11 just in this first half against these bigger teams in the rest of their postseason run, but a really great start. Just getting this team, getting the morale up and getting them in the right headspace to continue a run.
But finally, Bella Kolb able to get a draw. And boy, did they need one bad. Seems like could have been their first, 10-2 in that category, the Red Rams lead. Seems like it might have been their first offensive trip in maybe the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I feel like it's been about 5 or 6 goals since the last time New Hartford even had the ball in their stick. That's how dominant JD has been on the draws and how dominant they've been just pushing the pace again. And New Hartford with a little bit of a sloppy play, a little bit of a tussle here. And it's going to end up back with JD on that breakaway once again.
Yeah, and the Spartans just cannot seem to get a clean offensive possession in. Cannot complete their passes when they need them the most. Down inside is in went Fallon Coyle, it looked like. Excuse me, that was Nikki Malidi on the shot attempt, but was saved by Piccola. One of the rare defensive efforts that ended in a succession for the Spartans so far tonight. Piccola, about a 40% save percentage on the season, but does have 121 saves total.
Piccola not having her best night tonight, but we know she's still she's only a junior. She's going to learn a lot from this experience no matter what.
You can see the overall team save percentage on the screen there. The Red Rams leading that category by about 10%, 50-40. So again, they play a little bit cleaner on really all sides of the ball. There's a couple of fouls there.
And something I'm noticing right here with JD, I've seen a couple of shifts between midfielders and defenders, kind of switching up positions there. I think they want to kind of get all hands on deck here, try and get as many players as they can on that score sheet right now.
Is that shot attempt by Lainey Bort, the twin of Brooke Bort, was saved by Emily Piccola. But now Kessler just trying to chase down Leah Hilton. Kessler unsuccessful, but Caroline Stone backs her right up. And these Red Rams are probably going to get tired at the end of this first half with all the running they've been doing.
At this point, it's almost just like doing wind sprints in practice. But I don't think they're too mad about it because a lot of times in practice, the context is a little different. And in practice, you're not up 11-0 in a sectional game. So I think they'll take the running with a smile on their face.
And so many defensive turnovers created by the Red Rams. They're just allowing absolutely nothing on that side of the field. And at this point, not really sure what the Spartans can do about it. Spartans' last game played VVS, Verona Sherrill, who was actually 0-15 on the season. So not quite the result they were looking for, but they were able to win that game 8-6. McCarthy with 3 goals, Campola with 2, who's now out, and certainly not helping their odds here. And that's Maggie Blair, the JV player for the Red Rams, who got pulled up this last week, getting her first varsity career goal. And what a way to do it.
Everybody eats tonight. This JD team runs deep, and we're seeing it right now. Usually we don't see as many players scoring as we are seeing tonight. A lot of times it's just those little hustle plays that don't show up on the score sheet. But tonight, everyone is going to be able to get their name out there and have their moment of fame.
Yeah, and now 7 different Red Rams have scored in this opening half out of their 12 goals. That is just incredible ball distribution. And, I mean, who do you guard then? If you're the Spartans, there's not one person you could really hone in on.
Absolutely. And right now we're seeing with JD a real youth movement right now. We've got in this center right here, we got Nikki Meliti, Sadie Withers, and Maggie Blair, the JV call-up. 3 underclassmen lining up right in the middle here. We've got a couple on the attacking side as well. A massive learning opportunity and a moment they'll never forget here, playing in some of their first sectional games for a lot of them.
And not only going against maybe a team in their league who would make the playoffs, but a playoff caliber team in New Hartford. 8-8, 500 on the year. That's not anything to sleaze at. So this Red Rams squad just runs so deep.
And you see New Hartford trying to start their dodge here, but just being shut down by the likes of Lauren Parker, Nikki Meliti, and Riley Marker. Nothing going on here. A very tough showing here from New Hartford.
And, I mean, this JD defense has been nothing short of outstanding on this season. 6.7 goals is the average that they give up. And especially in the cross, that is nothing short of incredible. But now, trying to defend that 8-meter shot. Did it once. Can they do it again? And Lucy Kibe does it again. Bounced it right off her foot, it looked like. And so comfortable in that goal. We were talking about it earlier. Her presence and just her body language when she's in that goal has completely changed.
Kick save and a beaut there from Lucy Kibe. Doing a great job there. Not going to get a ton of action here tonight in her first ever sectional game, but I think she'll take it, and she's just going to learn from this experience mostly. Such a great learning point for all of these JD underclassmen.
And now another JV call-up gets put into the game. That's number 18, Ava Moan for the Red Rams. And she already found her first offensive opportunity. So just under 2 minutes left in this first half. It's Lainey Bort unsuccessful on that shot attempt.
And it still looks like JD is pushing that pace on offense. I think their goal here is just to get as many people scoring right now. And I can't blame them. This is a really important opportunity for a lot of these girls.
And Ava Moan tried to get on the scorebook as her first varsity goal. Unable to. A nice save by Piccola. But, yeah, you do have to wonder, when do you call it quits, at least in terms of keeping that pressure on offense? And when you decide to let up, maybe run some plays, and just send in the second unit.
And it looks like they're doing the latter half of that. They're sending in the second unit, but no sign of slowing down. This JD team, especially with all these underclassmen out there right now, they're hungry for it. They want to show what they're all about. This is some of their first times being a part of this team on this varsity field right now. They want to make the most out of it. They want to put their name out there and show that they belong.
And what better than an opportunity like this to be able to show what they have, especially going into next season, will be on the varsity team, I would imagine, if they're getting called up at JV. And now a stoppage of play here. will stay with the Spartans. But yeah, now just about 30 seconds left. And can the Spartans try and get on the board, or will they be shut out within this first half?
And even getting one goal out here is going to be just a little glimmer of hope there for New Hartford. Obviously not the result you want to find yourself in, but this is likely going to be their last half of the season going into this second half. And I think they just want to make the most out of it. For some of these seniors, it's their last time playing together. And it'd be nice to cap it off with a couple goals to their name.
So now Bala Responti trying to create something of her own. And that horn sounds and unable to get anything on the board. Just complete and utter destruction within that first half. The Red Rams up 12-0. And we'll see you right back here in about 7 minutes for the second half. But we will show, actually, while we're going into halftime, a quick little highlight of last game with the boys squad when they took on Homer in their last regular season matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York, for this quarterfinal matchup in the 2022 sectional tournament. Homer's going to have some big weapons to watch out for. Taking the shot is Jake Calabro, who is outmatched by Ian McIntyre. Swimming around, and Homer finally gets one on the board after many attempts. It's Hunter Reelman. So Homer just passing it around, trying to find an opportunity. Here comes one, and they take advantage of it. Once again, it's Hunter Reelman. And the low shot by Sam Brazel rolls into the goal. Ben Bradshaw had it, and he lost it. And another save by Bradshaw.
We barely got to see players like Sam Brazel get opportunities to shoot. He maybe shot once or twice.
And there's what happens when you get opportunities. Sam Brazel with goal number 2 today. A man down on defense against the Red Rams pretty much makes it even. It's like having one hand tied behind your back. Doesn't matter against a Kung Fu master. As McIntyre flows like water. Bieber forced off. Hardis drops it. And the Red Rams defense is all over him. Big hit, and the Red Rams recover. The Red Rams all over the Homer Trojans like a big fuzzy blanket. Back in the days of horses and wagons, and there's a massive hit. Tyler Reelman, Luke Patchen inside out. Matt Keeler whips it out, and Bradshaw with another save.
They've continued to turn up since then.
Turn up does Sam Brazel. A hat trick for Sam Brazel already. Red Rams have a 1-goal lead. Make it 2. Sam Brazel with number 4. Oh, Hunter Reelman, you got 2 goals ratioed. And Ian McIntyre hands out the L.
You can go for a really deep pass.
Or you can just go right up in front of the goal as Jake Calabro does and puts it in. Now Brazel. Superman goal! Put a cape on him. He's up to 5. Sam Brazel is on fire! And Gannon Kessler lights up Bradshaw, putting an exclamation point on the half.
I love the patience. I love the circling around. JD's not going to shoot until they get a great opportunity here.
And Kessler has one. Gannon Kessler on one bounce past Ben Bradshaw. And Kessler loads up, fires, and scores. A shotgun blast close to the goal.
Oh my goodness.
And now Gannon Kessler is the second Red Ram with a hat trick. Homer just trying to find any opportunity. And they generate one, but McIntyre just too much. Keeler Brazel, low and inside, got him. Number 6, the double hat trip for Sam Brazel. 6 goals, 3 assists, that's 9 total points today. I mean, that's a triple hat trick. Calabro gets it a little bit closer. Hardis takes the shot, and McIntyre with the save. Behind the back pass, sets up Eli Goldberg. What a beauty! Boom shakalaka!
Oh my goodness!
Eli Goldberg. Beautiful goal, his 21st of the season, barring some catastrophic disaster. And it's a disastrous day for Ben Bradshaw as Aiden Bates puts up his 17th goal of the year, and Ian McIntyre will not allow Hunter Reelman to get any more on the board. The sun sets on Homer's season, and that's all she wrote. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams have defeated the Homer Trojans 11-3, advancing to the sectional semifinals, which will be held Tuesday at Central Square. And so on behalf of all 3 of these guys here and everyone here at JDTV, have a very good rest of your day, wherever you may be.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jamesville-DeWitt High School here in DeWitt, New York, as the Red Rams in complete control after that dominant first half. They're up 12-0 over the New Hartford Spartans. And, you know, this second half might just be more of a run plays type of deal for the Red Rams.
Yeah, great start there by the Red Rams. New Hartford, we can't say the same about, but look, they've got 25 more minutes to play together, and I think the coach is just saying, hey, go out there and enjoy your last couple minutes of this season and just have fun. And that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, especially for those seniors, the last time they'll probably ever see a lacrosse field. Potentially some of them could be going onto the college field, but we don't know. And you're absolutely right. Just enjoy this what could be these last couple moments with your teammates and really soak up and reminisce of your high school career.
And it looks like JD is going to be doing the same, not with the same ending, thankfully for them, but they're just going to be kind of riding this one out. Not trying to get too much going on offensively, but just seeing where it takes them.
And we got an update. We'll be bringing you live updates of the boys' game so far. They're down 4-6 with about, 10 minutes left in that game, so they're hanging in for dear life against CBA, the 1 seed. And that would be something else if we could get 2 lacrosse wins in one night.
That would be something. The boys definitely with a tougher task here than the girls, sending all of our positive energy out to them in that final quarter of play. I would love to see them come home with a sectional dub, and I know those guys would be just super happy with it.
So it looks like for the Red Rams, they'll send in the whole second unit. We see Kayla Mashee going in at goalie. Mashee, excuse me. Who has actually a 90% save percentage on the year. She saved 9, only allowed 1 goal in her amount of play. So I think they're in pretty good hands in that regard. They'll keep most of their defensive unit on the field, but for the attackers, it's almost an entire underclassmen lineup.
Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing a lot of offensive diversity in this second half. Getting a lot of these underclassmen some of their first minutes on this varsity field. It'll be really exciting to see a lot of them get their first goals.
So again, the winner will take on Indian River. That'll be on Tuesday in Central Square. That'll be Thursday, excuse me. And that'll be the semifinal matchup. As that looks to be Sadie Withers on the draw. And already a couple of bodies hitting the deck. They look to be Maggie Blair and Ella Greiko of the Spartans button heads. That's Greiko's second crash course collision tonight.
Yeah, definitely a magnet to those type of things. But also not shy to get down there and just make those plays.
And no surprises here. The Red Rams get right back where they left off and just extend this lead. Let's take a look at who it was. That was Sadie Withers with her first goal on tonight and her 13th overall on the season to get goal number 13 tonight.
And Sadie Withers, just a freshman, getting her first goal in this game. Really exciting sight to see, having those underclassmen get involved. And a great morale boost there from Sadie Withers. A moment she'll never forget, for sure.
And again, we are back to a running clock because the margin is over 10 goals. So this second half will most likely go pretty quickly. Potentially, we could be bringing you a food review later in the second half. Stay tuned for more.
And hopefully some score updates from the boys' game, as well as that is looking to come to a close. And, you know, speaking of the boys' game, we had a lot of success just today and this week. It is championship week for JD. A lot of games going on. We actually just came, before this broadcast, we came from watching the 7th inning of the boys' baseball sectional first round game against Oswego. They were able to come out with a win there. Carter King delivering that final close, and they will play Whitesboro in the next round.
Yeah, rolling with King in that first round to try and give them the best chance of victory. It'll be interesting to see how they will move on as they face a tougher opponent. And who was it?
They're playing Whitesboro.
Whitesboro. Nothing to lose at there. So who will be on the mound for the Red Rams is the big question as they head into that game. And really for them, that team, the boys baseball team, they've had great defense throughout the season, but it's been their hitting that has kind of cost them in some of those closer games. So if they can find their stride and get hot bats in these last couple of weeks, they could definitely be a dark horse team to make a run in that tournament.
Yeah, and they've got the perfect opportunity to be that dark horse team against Whitesboro. It's an 8 seed versus a 1 seed in that game. Big potential for an upset, and they're going to need everything firing.
And there's Ava Moan with her first varsity career goal, as she gets number 14 off the 8-meter attempt. And we're already starting to see this JV influence.
Ava Moan ensuring that the future of JD Lacrosse is indeed very bright, becoming yet another JD player to get up on that score sheet. I believe we've got 8 or 9, maybe 10 different scorers today.
Yeah, we're now up to 8 total out of 14 goals. And they're only going to look to spread that. And now I believe we've seen Nina Autry checking into the game for the Red Rams. So they're just going to try and send a whole new unit and really let them get a full half of experience, which really is invaluable at this type of level, especially when you get into those later games. Potentially, have some injuries here and there, and you've got people that now have a little bit more experience than they would have otherwise.
Yeah, especially just right here, these 3 midfielders here from JD, I believe, are all varsity calls from the JV squad. And it's really interesting to see from Coach Murphy just the trust that she's putting in these girls. And she definitely realizes the gravity of this moment for them. She realizes the big opportunity that she's giving them. And it's a great sight to see for the future of this program.
And they will certainly learn a lot under Coach Murphy. In her first year as the head coach, was previously the assistant coach. Take a look at the draw controls, 13-3 there. The Red Rams, when they do that, they are almost certain to come away with the victory. And they've taken care of business in that stat tonight. But as I was saying, Coach Murphy, her first year as the head coach, 13-3. Most likely going to win their opening sectional round. And certainly one of the better teams we've seen in the last couple of years come out of JD.
Yeah, JD, it's always tough when you have a coaching change, but JD has really not skipped a beat here. As we said before, they are 5-time, I believe, consecutive sectional champions, looking to make that, just extend that even more. And after this coaching change, they have completely just bridged that gap so perfectly from season to season. That's exactly what you want to see. Such an encouraging thing, and it just speaks to the level of just amazing performance we've seen for this program over the years.
Yeah, and that coaching change to have success in year one is something that's so difficult even at the professional level, but nonetheless to do it with a group of high schoolers and have this much success just really speaks to the adaptability and the coachability of these members of this team. As Lainey Bort tried to punch one in there. And Emily Picola still standing tall in that goal. And that one slides by. And they will keep on marching. We were talking about the baseball team. On the other side is the girls' softball team, who's had almost just a perfect season in terms of the regular season. The 1 seed heading into that tournament have a couple of just dogs on that squad and looking to make a run and get some redemption from last year. Lost to Auburn in that sectional championship at home at JD and just fell in that last inning. So they took them down earlier this year. They actually split that series. They went 1-1, and you could be looking at a potential sectional rematch.
And definitely something for the softball team. They want to become one of the only JD team sports to bring home a sectional chip this year, as well as JD girls lacrosse. They want to bring that home as well, but this softball team is poised to make a deep run even further than sectionals. Coach Canner, he had his amazing milestone of getting that, I believe, his 100th win. He accomplished that this season. And just a really great program there as we're seeing as well. And it'll be interesting to see them, if they end up facing Auburn at the close of this sectional run, seeing that retribution there play out. And that shared trauma that all of those players have is really going to play out with that experience against Auburn once again.
Yeah, and was able to actually watch their game against Auburn that was at home this year. They were down 8-1 at one point in that one and came back and won 11-8. So the team is capable of doing incredible things, and they can hit runs in a hurry with the likes of Emily Balone and Kate DeRazio on that squad. As there's Maggie Bliss getting her second goal of the game and her second in her varsity career.
Maggie Bliss getting it done once again. The JV call-up having no difficulties adapting to the varsity style. That's her second on the day. And like you were saying, with the girls softball team, facing Auburn is going to be a very difficult task for them. But like you said before...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Nope, wrong thing. There we go.
But like you said before, they're poised for such a great run. And it looks like we're getting a little delivery here.
Hey.
We got some... What do we...
Look what the cat dragged in. We got to show to the camera. Yeah, let's get a good, nice angle on this with the ring light, too. Look at those. A fresh box of Krispy Kreme donuts straight from the school fundraiser. And we have the privilege of bringing you the second food review on this season. First time it was pizza. Now we have Krispy Kreme. And we're going to see just what the hype is all about here. Go ahead and
Let's see.
take your selection of choice. We'll try not to make this too much of an ASMR experience. We have some napkins over there. That might be a little clutch.
All right.
Let's dig in and see what this is about.
Oh. I know I'm not supposed to talk with food in my mouth, but man, this is terrific.
Wow. That just hits the spot. There's not much else I can really say about a food of this caliber.
Krispy Kreme just does it for me. Honestly, if I'm being transparent here right now, I did have one before I left my house today. I was able to get a nice 12-pack from school yesterday. I've been eating them basically since I got them.
There's no shame in taking down a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. We almost all of us have fallen victim to the classic dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Hey, it's a team effort. Me and my sisters have been eating them.
Hey, and they're selling them what, $9 a dozen?
Oh.
That's a steal.
I would pay an obscene amount of money for that.
How much?
Oh.
$20.
If it's an auction, $20 for a dozen. Yeah, I'm doing that.
25. One dozen.
Depends how hungry I am. That's $2 a donut.
We're talking you've been walking through the desert 10
easily.
days.
Easily.
Okay. I'm going to take another bite here. As there's Laney Bort making me stop chewing for a second. As she gets, I believe that was her second goal on the night. So Laney Bort, actually no, her first goal on the night and her fourth of this season. And nice to see some new faces on the field.
You said you had to stop chewing after that goal, but for me, that was just a reminder to take another bite. These donuts are doing it for me. And, Nick, I have to ask the question, okay?
All right, so, ask me.
Krispy Kreme donuts, right? They come in a pack of 12. Let's say you're in a room just alone. You and a box of Krispy Kreme. As I believe we're getting a little bit of notice here.
I'll let you finish your sentence.
You and a box of Krispy Kreme, 12 donuts, all that's standing between you. How long is it taking you to finish those donuts? You got 12 of them.
Do I have a bev? Do I have water? If you give me
no
water.
No water. Actually, no. We'll give you water.
How many? A bottle? One bottle?
Yeah, I got my bottle here. I'll give you a 32-ounce bottle.
I bet you, if I have not eaten, I bet you I can down them in 25 minutes.
Oh, really? Man,
I don't know.
That was not the answer I was expecting. Do you want me to give you my answer?
What did you think? How fast could you do it?
Well, we got Laney Bort here, scoring very quickly. Not as quick as I would eat these donuts. I'm thinking, for me, I talked about this with my mom and my sisters yesterday, and I don't see why I couldn't do it in under 10 minutes, maybe 5. With the frequency I've been eating these at in the last day, and that's no goal there from Laney Bort. At the frequency I've been eating these in the last day, I don't see why I couldn't house a box of Krispy Kreme in 5 or 10 minutes.
You know, now that I get a little bit further into this one, I'm going to subtract that. We'll say sub 20 at least. A comfortable under 20 minutes. But, you know, you put a guy like Joey Chestnut on there, he's probably doing, sub 5?
Oh, easily.
I mean, the frequency at which that man can eat a glizzy is otherworldly. And I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. Because he is one of the best athletes in the world, and he does not get the credit he deserves.
Absolutely. You name me someone who has won, I believe, 15. And we're interrupted here by a goal from Nina Autry. That is her first varsity goal. and hitting a gritty there. We'd love to see that. But as I was saying, try and name me an athlete that has won, I believe these numbers are correct, 15 out of the last 16 championships.
I think it might be 15 consecutive.
I know he was interrupted a couple of years back by Matt Stoney.
Oh, you even know the names.
Oh, yeah.
You are storied and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Studied the game of hot dog eating. But now we have the lemonade chug as well. Big chugs last year.
Yeah.
He downed that gallon of lemonade. So now we have a new opponent. And can he defend his title? Man, the 4th of July, they just don't do it anywhere else. So as we're talking about stuff like this, we can take a look at what day it is. One of, I believe, Mikey's favorite graphic of every broadcast. We take a look, National Brothers Day, which is actually kind of unfortunate because we just got the final score of the boys' game, and they unfortunately fell 4-9 against CBA in a really tough matchup.
First time since 2018 that they're not winning the sectional
Yeah,
championship.
and there you hear it from Sam Gelfand himself.
Well, you can't hear it.
Well, first time since 2018, he'll give it to you himself.
This is the. Hey, you thought you could get rid of me? You can't get rid of me. This is the first time since 2018 that the JD boys team will fail to capture the sectional championship. This is only the second time in 16 years that they will fail to capture the sectional championship.
And I mean, you go back to the girls' success, but the boys have done it for even longer, and it's nothing to salute. Like, this is no discredit to the boys' team this season. They were an amazing team, had some incredible wins over the course of the season, but just an unfortunate matchup to have to face that 1 seed in the second round. And I'm sure they will bounce back next year. They have a lot of young talent on that team. Obviously, Sam Brazel, the leading goal scorer, Gannon Kessler will also be coming back, so they get their top 2 guys.
And McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre as well. So they're in good hands for the next years to come, but an unfortunate end of their season.
And unfortunate it had to come on National Brothers Day as they are playing Christian Brothers Academy.
Yeah, just a very bad
Tough
coincidence.
times.
Also, National Asparagus Day. Absolutely not.
No.
And then we have a new one, National Escargot Day, which I believe is what, a snail dish of a French
is.
cuisine.
Yes, I have a little bit of a backstory on this. So, a couple years ago, I went to Greece to with my family to visit a lot of my family there. I've got a ton of family there, and my uncle actually. I was talking to him, and I was asking him, what do you do for a living? And he told me, I sell escargot. Just a real shocker. And obviously, I was like probably 10 years old at the time. I'm like, okay, what is escargot? He's like, oh, it's snails. I said, snails? He said, yeah, I sell snails on the internet.
On the internet?
Yeah. And
How much do those go for? Oh, sorry, I'll let you
Get
finish.
this. Me and my sisters, we call them the snailsmen.
Ah. But how much does it? Did he ever let you know how much a snail goes for?
I'm not sure about the euros to U.S. dollars conversion there. I imagine it's a pretty niche market.
Yeah.
But I bet it could get pretty lucrative.
No, but is that like, does that turn into a black market type of thing where you're selling mass of snails across the world?
I prefer not to speak. I can't
Whoa.
incriminate my family members
Wow.
like that.
All right. If they're listening in Greece, they might have to leave this broadcast right now, as it also is National Wyoming Day. And we continue the streak of random states. Have you ever met someone from Wyoming, Mikey?
I have not.
Yep.
Which just begs me to ask the question, does Wyoming actually exist?
We could bring this up with a couple of states, and Sam Gelfand seems very passionate on this topic.
Oh, no, I know a single fact about Wyoming, and is that there are about 550,000 people in Wyoming. There are 750,000 cows.
So there you go. The cow to people ratio is greater than 1 in Wyoming, and that's about all they've got going for them. And yeah, please, if you're in the comments, let us know. Do you know anyone from Wyoming? I think the last time it was National Idaho Day. When are one of these states that's actually real going to get some recognition? I'd love to see it.
Yeah, personally, Wyoming is it's kind of a joke, honestly, amongst the states. I know we say it's part of the 50 states song. We know it's there.
It's at the end of it. No one really listening by that point.
Yeah, it's the last one,
I'm
actually.
waiting for the angry comments from people from Wyoming.
Yes.
Hey, bring them on. I am willing to debate any Wyominger. Whatever you've got to say, I'm here for it, and we can have a nice discussion.
Honestly, added to the list of marginalized groups that have probably been offended out here on JDTV. Sorry to all you Wyoming people. I bet
Cortland
they're
fans.
lovely.
Cortland
Yeah,
fans.
they caught us straight all the time.
You hit him with a couple of wombo combo in that last game. But yeah, nobody is safe on the JDTV broadcast. Safe to say.
I wonder if we took the state champion girls lacrosse team from Wyoming and put them against JD. I wonder how that would go. I have absolutely no research on this topic. I know nothing about this, but I'd be interested to see what the girls' lac scene is like in Wyoming.
And Coach Canner actually thanking us for the shout-out, of course. So glad you're able to join us on these broadcasts. We always appreciate any comments, and, you know, there's a reason we do these consistently, night in and night out. It's for the people, and we, you know, that just makes this job so much more fun and so much easier when you get feedback and you get the viewership you're looking for.
Yeah, thank you to all of our amazing viewers of JDTV. I know we've got a lot of students here. They've been coming up to me recently saying great job on the commentating, and I know we have a very dedicated fan base here from students, alumni, parents, coaches. Everyone's welcome here.
Yeah, we have a couple of super fans, Max McCall, Mo Hajari, probably the top two that tune into what seems like almost every broadcast, but you know, it'll be yours next year to carry on the torch and carry this tradition. And other JD students, if you're listening, this is one of the best opportunities at this high school. This was one of the best decisions I've made in my life to be able to join this last year. Started doing swimming, and it seemed because swimming was the only sport going on, we went into the pool, no fans, it's just us. You're filming people swimming back and forth. Not very entertaining, but just the experience of it and getting to be able to run a broadcast like that does wonders. And if you have any kind of interest, please reach out.
And we won't be doing swimming.
We won't be doing swimming. That is correct. But we'll be bringing hopefully all of the same sports, just up to you guys to give us the manpower.
Yeah, to any JD student out there who has tuned into these broadcasts, heard about them, or even just been in the crowd at some of these games, if you have a passion for sports, and if you want to do something with public speaking, or if you want to do something with video production, anything of that sort, JDTV is the perfect spot for you to be.
And yeah, and a lot of different roles come into this. You don't have to do this just to be a broadcaster, to be on the camera. That's, you know, not many people enjoy doing stuff like that. You want to man the camera. You've done a lot of photography. You enjoy that type of artistic work. It's almost the same when you get on the sports field. And that's kind of what I embody when I try and use the camera. Producing as well. You're controlling what's displayed on the video screen. You know, you're running the clock, you're running the score, the graphics, everything like that. So it doesn't have to be just one skill. You can do so many different things on a broadcast, and you need so many different types of people.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that I was able to become a part of JDTV as well. I joined in during the basketball season. I've had a great time here. This is likely going to be our last broadcast of the season, but it's been a great ride, and I can't wait to keep these going for years to come.
And hopefully I'll be able to return at some point next season. Not sure when. I'll be a freshman at college, so going to try and find my footing first and then potentially be able to come back here. But Tyler Aiken will also be at SU, and Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, the man who started it all, will be leaving us in a couple of weeks for Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he starts his news reporting job. Congratulations to Sam. He gave a very emotional last speech, last game, and he's done so much for this program and really got it off the ground.
We're getting some applause there.
Yeah,
from the crowd.
the people in the crowd.
They're loving it.
He is a man of the people, taking his queen wave, and much well-deserved. So,
and taking his talents to Oklahoma as well, a state that now we can confirm exists. There wasn't a ton of controversy there, but
yeah, I think Oklahoma is definitely, because you know you got like a football team.
Yeah, you got the Thunder.
The Thunder, yeah. I mean, they're a little bit more established.
But we're definitely broadening our horizons. We're trying to get all 50 states here at some point on JDTV. And Sam Gelfand, I hope you'll be tuned in from Oklahoma, right?
Of course.
Yeah, got to.
And there's so much I've learned so much about Oklahoma as well, just, you know, looking things up and trying to get a better feel for where I'll be heading. So much about Tulsa as well. Did you know that Tulsa was the birthplace of Route 66?
And no, I did not, but with Sam Gelfand, you're always learning something new. The philosopher, even.
Oh, don't get me started on philosophy.
He will keep going for on and on. I've had first-hand experience. We did the soccer state championship. He starts talking about, who is it?
Well, it was basketball.
It was the basketball sectional championships. We were talking about Rene Descartes.
Yeah, and he probably went on for a good couple of minutes just talking about Descartes. I learned a lot of his philosophies. I couldn't tell you what they are now, but I remember listening to him then.
He created the Matrix, essentially.
There you go. Created the Matrix.
In
So,
like the 1500s.
yeah, a long time ago.
Good to know.
Just about 6 minutes left now in this game. And Hartford still hasn't been able to get on the board. At this point, I really want to see them score, and I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I think either side of this crowd would definitely be happy with a new Hartford goal right now. Just a good thing to see, a real wholesome moment.
We're getting dad jokes from Mr. Keogh.
Lay it on us.
Repeat it?
What is it?
Oh, no, he said just make sure you don't put Descartes before the horse. Don't look at me. It's his joke.
all right.
It's his joke, not mine.
I think we're too young, and maybe we just don't understand.
Yeah, I would have to second that, Nick.
But I'm sure there are people cackling at home listening to that one. And if you're out there, I'm glad you enjoyed it more than we did.
Nick, you got any good dad jokes?
Oh, man, you got me on the spot now. This is too difficult.
I could give you one.
All right, let me hear it.
Hey, Nick. You ever heard of the joke about the interrupting dog?
No,
Arf, arf.
no, I don't think I've heard it.
Well, I think you just did.
Oh, wow.
That was one of my weakest. I got it.
You know, that one,
gotta own
that
up
was
to it.
shocking. I really wasn't expecting that one. Now Sam Gelfand is cackling in the back. So everyone's laughing here at JDTV in what will be our final broadcast this season.
And by the way, I just got to point it out before the season's over, Nick. You tried to say the phrase "nothing to sneeze at" twice today, and you're 0 for 2.
Oh, man.
You said nothing to sleaze at, and then nothing to snooze at.
Well, you know, snooze, that also works. Nothing to snooze at. That makes sense in the context. So I'm actually 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I did mess up the first one. Not something I like to bring up, but you know, as a play-by-play commentator, you got a couple of those probably every game.
Yeah.
At least for me, that you're gonna slip up
It's
on.
all a learning experience.
That's right. All in
Absolutely.
good fun as well.
The other broadcast, I was pulling a Michael Scott. I was what was it? Now I'm starting. Oh yes, I said insurmountable instead of insurmountable. I was heavily influenced there by The Office. There, we all make mistakes out here on JDTV. It's part of the job.
And you know, it's pretty easy. People kind of underestimate how difficult it is to get on the mic and actually speak in a way that makes sense. It took me a long time to figure that out, and I'm obviously still learning. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm much closer than I was before. But yeah, I think people underestimate how difficult it is to just sound precise.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people fear giving a big speech in class or doing a presentation or whatever it may be, but this is even more high stakes than that. You know, it's going to be recorded, first of all. These clips live on YouTube for forever, really, unless we decide to take them down, which I don't think we're going to do, but this is really an ultimate test of your public speaking skills. But it's great for me, at least, because, you know, I get to talk about sports, and I know that's a big passion that you and I both share, especially, and with Sam and Tyler, too. It's definitely something I love talking about, and I'm glad I ended up here talking about sports.
So you want to know my most embarrassing slip-up of my entire career, just to make you feel less bad about yourselves.
Let's hear it.
So I was doing a public speaking gig, right? I've got 1,000 people listening to me. Large auditorium in a hotel. And I'm at the very end of my speech. And I'm wrapping things up, and my next line is, I would like to thank so-and-so, let's say John Smith. I would like to thank John Smith. In my mind, I'm reading ahead to the next line. I see thank, but I also see speech, and I say, I would like to spank John Smith.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Oh, no. In front of 1,000 people. At the very end, you made it all the way there with no mess up.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right, I feel much better now.
Okay. Sorry, John Smith. Must have been brutal there.
And I want to talk about this because it seems like every time someone has to make up a name, it's John Smith. And whoever the real John Smith is in this world, I feel so bad because they probably get made fun of so much for having the most generic name ever.
Yeah, but he married Pocahontas, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Okay.
But then again, it might be the most generic impossible formula.
And you say shout out to the one person out there named John Smith, but how many John Smiths are there? Over, under?
Are we talking in America or the world?
I mean, I imagine most of them would come from America, but we'll go world. You got 7 billion people out there.
7 billion.
3.5 billion men.
Okay.
Are we thinking what?
Let's crack this
10
down.
million?
No. Of John
Higher?
Smith?
Lower?
Lower. It's got to be lower.
Okay, fair.
As Sadie,
1 million?
Sadie Weathers punches it in for another goal. The Red Rams just are never going to slow down.
How about 1 million? 1 million John Smiths out there.
Can we look it up? Can we? Tyler, our cameraman.
A minute left in the game. Can you do it?
Our Tyler, we got a
Crunch
minute
for
left.
time right
Crunch time. What can he do? And also shout out to Tyler Aiken, who unfortunately has had to be filming for a while. We're enjoying this amazing conversation, but what a great job he's doing. Let's see if we've got any information here. Oh yeah, go ahead. Take the mic.
I'm going to take the mic for the first time today. Got to have all 4 of us do it. It's much lower than you expected. 44,935.
Oh,
That's just
What's
in
your
America.
source? What's your
That's
source?
just in America. AlexaAnswers.amazon.com.
Okay. Man, I'm kind of disappointed by that almost.
I mean, a million is kind of that's out there. Is there a million of any name? No. Maybe of last names we're talking.
maybe first name like Muhammad.
Well, yeah.
Most commonly used name on earth. Read a book for once.
Oh, whoa. Whoa.
No. I hope you understood the reference out there in the crowd, but that was from the movie Superbad.
Oh.
I'm just nothing against you, Nick.
Man,
I
I
bet
thought
you read
I
a
was
ton
getting
of books.
just targeted there, but as we were going on and on, this game actually came to a close. Almost didn't even realize it. The Red Rams pitch an absolute shutout, a no-no. They win 18-0 in the sectional quarterfinals.
This is the first time that Jamesville-DeWitt has shut out New Hartford since 2009.
So, absolutely, they've had a lot of matchups with New Hartford in the past, but this one, just another one to add to the shutout list. And how impressive is that to do that in the sectional opening round? And what a message that sends to everyone else in Class C that, hey, we are the team to beat.
Absolutely. Taking the words right out of my mouth there, really. JD sending a message to any team that they're going to end up facing. I believe it's Indian River after this. That's going to be a tough matchup no matter who they will end up facing in the final as well. But JD getting off on the perfect start right now.
And it comes from a whole team effort. 9 different Red Rams scored tonight. A couple of JV call-ups got their first career goal. And it's just a feel-good moment, at least for the Red Rams. For the Spartans, it is the end of their 2022 campaign. They finished 8-9 on the season. And for the seniors, this will be most likely the final time they'll see the Lacrosse field. We thank you all so very much for joining us this entire season, this year-long effort of JDTV broadcast all the way back to soccer and ending here at Lacrosse at the exact same field. I can't.
Should we get like a group portrait?
Yeah, I think we can bring Tyler in here.
Yeah.
We cannot thank
Let's
you.
see.
We cannot thank you guys enough for sticking with us this entire year, every single broadcast. And I guess this is from everybody's. You can really see all of us,
There
all
we
4
go.
of us here at JDTV, manning it down. This is the crew. We thank you so very much for joining us. And one last time, have a very good night wherever you may be.